Hi there, welcome to this session of types of exceptions. We've already seen what exceptions are, and as I told you, they are errors. In this agenda we are going to see some common types of exceptions and a sample code and its output. Arithmetic exceptions is one of the types of exceptions which is caused by a math error. What could be the possible reason for a math error? Let's consider two numbers and one number, that is the divisor, is supposed to be a 0. What will happen? In mathematics, it will lead to infinity, but as far as Java is concerned, it will raise an exception, and this exception is called arithmetic exception. So any number divisible by 0 will cause an exception. What other mathematical errors can one make? Maybe this could be food for thought. You can think about it. The next is the array index out of bounds exceptions. The next is the array out of bounds exception, which is caused by bad array indexes. You know that an array index starts with a 0 and maybe it ends with n, and the values that has to be given should be between the values of 0 to n. We will see a sample code on this later on. The file not found exception, whenever you want to access a file and you browse through the file explorer, you go to a particular folder and you check for a file, and if that file is not there, the compiler does not find a file in the place where you've indicated, then it will just come and give you an answer stating, a runtime error will be given to you stating that the file was not found under the file not found exception clause. The next is the null pointer exception. As the name indicates, a null pointer is a reference to a null object. So when you're trying to refer a particular variable to a null object, then it will raise a null pointer exception. The number format exception is caused when you are trying to convert a string into a number. Suppose you say a string is, you pass a value of hello. And now you are trying to convert this into a number. An integer is a number which is from 0 to 9, and a character or a string cannot be converted into a number. When you're trying to parse it as an integer, when you're trying to parse hello as an integer, then what happens is you will get a number format exception in your output. So these are all caused due to user interactions with the computer and they're giving wrong values, then these kind of exceptions do occur. The next is the security exception. Suppose you write a program using applets. You've created an applet and you try to run the applet in a browser. Modern browsers nowadays, like say Google Chrome or version 42, has done away with these kind of NP APIs. The APIs is the application programming interface, and it has stopped the plugins of many of the programs. In such a way, it has also stopped applets. So when an applet tries to run on a browser that has stopped, or it is not allowing the applet to run on that browser, then a security exception is raised and it is shown on your output screen stating that it is a security exception. Another common type of exception is a string index out of bounds exception. Whenever you have a string value and you try to access a character outside the bounds of that particular string, then this string out of bounds exception is returned. A negative array size exception is caused when the declared array size is negative. Say for example, you say int a of -5. This is a wrong way to declare. Therefore, it will return an error stating that a negative array size exception has occurred. Now let's see a sample code for the array index out of bounds exception. I have included a class called array index, and in that I have the main method. I have passed a string array, and now for catching the exceptions I use the try catch block. So inside the try I am initiating a variable int a. That's an array index, that's an array variable, and I pass the values 1, 2 and 3. As you can see, the 1, 2, 3 values are placed in the 0th, 1st and the 2nd blocks of the array. Now, the next line says system.out.println. It shows the array size of a of 6. Now tell me, where would the a of 6 position be in the index, that is int a? Now we have only 3 values and the index value is 2, but where is 6? It's very much outside the array. Therefore you get the array index out of bounds exception when you run this program, and we are catching this error. Array out of bounds exception is caught by using the catch method, and the system.out.println, we just simply print the exception. Let's see what the output looks like. Now when I run the array index Java, it says Java array index java.lang.array index out of bounds exception, and it shows the value 6, which says that you have given a wrong value of 6. So give a value that is within the scope of the index of the array. The next example, what we are seeing is a string index out of bounds exception. Just like the array, I have passed a string index class, I have created a string index class, and in the main method, once again the try catch block, I have initiated a string s with the value raja in double quotes. Now the next line is commented, but the line after that says system.out.println s.char@, which is a method to find the position of a particular character. Now raja, the indexes are 0, 1, 2 and 3. Now as per the previous statement, the commented previous statement system.out.println, if we try to get the character s.char@ of 3 as given in the first example, what would have been the value that would have been printed? You would have got A as the answer, but that line has been commented just to show you how a string index out of bounds exception occurs. But in the second line I have given system.out.println char@ of the 9th position. If you can see in the drawing there, you don't have a 9th position, you have only 3 indexes. The 9th index or the 9th character is very much out of the string index. Therefore this particular error is caught by the string index out of bounds exception, wherein I have declared a variable SIOE, which is a runtime exception, and the SIOE is printed as an error message, which you can see in the output, the next slide. So as you can see, when I try to run this program, it says java.lang string index out of bounds exception, and it says the string index is out of range and it gives you the value of 9, which is outside the range of the total string index that you have. Therefore, this is a runtime error. So when a user sees this error, he'll be able to understand this error and he will give the value accordingly so that his program is able to run the program. So my dear friend, in this session we saw the common types of exceptions, and I've also given you examples of how these exceptions work, and we also saw a sample code and the output of a program which will cause errors. So try to avoid these errors in your program and learn a lot about exceptions. So till such time we meet again, it's bye and thank you.